everyone. In this video, I'll talk about a few home theater must-haves. Now, I'm calling these must-haves, but this is ultimately my opinion. This list is based on my experience through my home theater journey. I think it can be a useful need to know for folks planning out and just starting their home theater journey. For us home theater enthusiasts, light is not our friend unless it's coming from your projector. Any other light is going to interfere with the output of your projector, whether it's a little or a lot. To some degree, any light, even what may seem inconsequential, will impact what you see on your projector screen. More than likely, the light source that you're trying to wrangle will be from your window. In my room, I have one window, so what I chose to do was cover that window with a film specifically designed to block light from coming in. The film itself blocks the light completely, but I also installed an insert which is primarily a sound dampener. But it will also eliminate any chance of light coming in. Depending on your preference and what'll work for your room design, here are a few effective ways to block light. Inserts. The benefit of inserts is that they can serve a dual purpose. They can help with sound absorption while filling the window space and completely blocking light from the outside. The downside is that it may not be aesthetically pleasing to everyone. Also, if you want to access the window at any point, it may be a bit of a pain to take it out and put back in. Blackout curtains or blinds. These work really well while also being a bit more aesthetically pleasing. You also maintain easy access to your window in case you need it. The potential downside is there may still be a chance for some light leakage from the edges of those blinds or curtains. Some blinds have side channels that will block the light, but the brands that include those that I've seen are pretty expensive and a bit more labor intensive. So that'll work and it's effective, but more expensive, more labor, and a bit harder to find. Vinyl film. There's vinyl film specifically for blacking out windows that will work. They will black out 100% of the light from the outside. You can maintain access to your window. Having put this up before myself, just note that you will need to be pretty exact in the measurements for it to properly fit and block the light. And this may have been user error on my part, but after some time, the edges started to pull away from the glass and there was some light leakage. It's an easy fix, just smooth it back down, but it's something that I experienced. You'll also want to minimize light reflections off of surfaces in your room. Even if you are able to totally eliminate light from outside your room from getting in, the light from your projector bouncing off of your projector screen can reflect off of other surfaces in your room back onto the projector screen and within the room and negatively impact the quality of the picture on your screen, making it look washed out, losing contrast, losing vibrancy, and creating a generally less pleasing picture. The best way to minimize, or in some cases eliminate, reflections altogether is to go black. I experimented with black velvet. I actually did a video of my experience. Check out that if you will. I'll leave a link in the description below, but black velvet absolutely works. No reflections. The downside of black velvet is cost. It can add up. And going back to the aesthetics, some people may not like the look of fabric draped along the wall. I personally did not like the look myself, but I did come up with a design idea where I would create large panels wrapped in velvet that looked pretty clean, but that would take more time, effort, and expense that I was not willing to invest. A dark paint will generally minimize light reflections. You'll want to choose a flat or a matte finish. Any other finish, you will have a sheen that to some degree will reflect light. Don't forget your baseboards, light fixtures, including baffles if you have recessed lightings, trim around the doors and windows, outlets, outlet covers, your flooring. All things to keep in mind during your design and planning phase. These all may seem small, but can stand out in a dark room. If they don't necessarily impact the picture quality, they can be distracting. I've said this before, do acoustic treatments. They work. As simple as it may seem, they will make a material impact in the sound quality in your room. Acoustic treatments usually come in the form of some kind of panel. There are absorbent panels. These are usually filled with or made of foam, fiberglass, or rock wool. The purpose of these are to absorb sound waves and largely stop them from bouncing around in your room, muddling the sound. Bass traps are essentially the same, but tend to be deeper and placed in corners where those bass waves can bounce around, create some boominess and more muddle. Bass traps have to be thicker and deeper to effectively tame those bass frequencies. One of the things you don't want to do is completely deaden the room with too many absorbent panels, but you still want to control and tame those sound waves around your room. That's where diffuser panels come in. These don't absorb or eliminate sound, instead they reduce echoes and reflections while maintaining some liveliness in your room. You can marry diffusion and absorption with a combo panel, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a combination of diffuser and absorbent panel. It's usually an absorbent panel with a front plate that has a sequence of holes and slots that help with diffusion. And lastly, carpet. If you have the option, I would definitely recommend it over wood, vinyl, or tile. It's just going to be better at reducing echoes and reflections. A smart light is an absolute must. Trying to find a seat, trying to find the door, stumbling around in the dark is not fun. Being able to control the lights from your seat is a huge convenience. There are plenty of brands available. Many are compatible with Alexa, so they can be controlled with voice command. It's relatively inexpensive and easy to install and set up. A riser. Depending on the width of your room and how many seats you need, a riser is likely going to be a must. My room isn't especially wide, it's about 12 feet across. I initially set up 3 seats across, but it was a bit of a tight fit and we had to dodge the side speakers, so I had to build a riser. I think for most of us, a riser is going to be a must. They aren't that difficult to build. Check out my home theater tour. It's not a full step-by-step instructional breakdown on the riser build, but I do show the different stages of the build. If you're planning on a home theater, a riser may be something you end up having to consider. Hopefully this video was helpful. It's not at all meant to be preachy or to make anyone who hasn't included these in their room feel as if they're doing something wrong. These are things that improve the experience in my home theater, and I think are at least something to consider if you're starting your build or thinking of ways to improve your home theater experience.